Hi guys, I wanted to make some watercolor paintings today. I made a watermelon, which I will show you how to do. If you guys want to do this and then play around on your own and make some other, something else, maybe another fruit, maybe some other foods that we like, totally up to you. But first I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so what I'm using is a piece of watercolor paper, a regular pencil, I have a water cup, a watercolor brush, and a watercolor palette. So, angle my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I have markers here, but I am not using them. Okay, so on my piece of paper, and if you want to use like a straight edge or a ruler for this, you can. I'm making like a triangle, and I'm gonna try to draw this like really lightly so that I can see it. But that it's not like too dark because watercolor is kind of sheer and won't cover over it. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna make a curve. Okay, so that's my shape. And then using my watercolor, my camera is moving around. Okay, using my watercolor, so what I'm going to do is I want it to look like how on like this painting, the left side is darker than the right side, so that kind of makes it look like it's 3D and like maybe the sun or the light source is over here. So that's what I'm gonna try to do with this one as well. So I want this side, it's my left side, probably your right side, to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna use this color. I'm gonna use my so that kind of like the perfect watermelon color. And I'm gonna paint this across I'm gonna start from the left, from the side that I want to be a little bit darker. And then I'm just gonna slowly paint over as and it's gonna be lighter, like just naturally lighter on the right side. So then right down here, I'm trying to leave a little bit of white. It's really hard to paint white over other colors on watercolor, so if you want something to be white, you kind of have to leave it white and not paint on it at all. So that's like the part of the watermelon before it turns green. Oh, I just splashed a little bit, whoops. Maybe a paper towel might be helpful for this, just in case you have some splashes, so you can just wipe those up easily. Okay, so I kind of just painted that lightly, and then the thing with this, with watercolors, you have to kind of let it dry in between coats. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Okay, let it dry a little bit, and I'm gonna paint the green. I'm gonna use the brighter green, and then I'm probably gonna, once it dries, go over it with the darker green. And along that bottom curved line, I'm gonna paint green. Oops. See, like what I just did, I just spilled a little bit. That would be really helpful if I had a paper towel. I could just wipe that up really easily. Okay, so green. Cool, so that's gonna dry a little bit. I'm gonna fix my camera again. I'm trying to put something on my camera so that it doesn't fall over. Maybe these markers will help, I don't know. Okay, so then I'm gonna just paint a little bit more red over on the right side and kind of let that, it's a little bit wet, so it's bleeding a little bit, which I kind of like. If you really like that, you could like tilt the page and let it bleed a little bit more, so that it does kind of get really light by the time it gets to the right side. Did I say that wrong? Maybe I might be mixing up my right and lefts. I'm sorry. Okay. So then, now I'm gonna take the darker green and just kind of darken the left side of the green part of the rind. Is it called a rind? I think it's called a rind. You know, the part that you don't eat. Okay. I'm just gonna put a little bit of green so it's a little bit darker. And again, it's wet, so it's like bleeding a little bit, but it's bleeding. Oh, I'm not showing you, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. And I'm going to let that dry again. And then as it dries, I can keep going and building making the left side a little bit darker, both in the red and the green. And then once it's completely dry, I'm gonna go back in and add the seeds. So this one was completely dry, and I did a few coats on the right side to really darken it. And then I did the seeds using a colored pencil. You can use watercolor if you want. It can get a little bit messy, but I would, or even if you have like a marker or something like that, once it's completely dry though, okay? So I would be curious to see if you guys liked this project, and if you could do the same thing, the same kind of technique, but using different fruit or different things. By that I mean like how we made one side darker and the other side lighter to show that like the light, does that make sense? Like the sun or the light would be here so that this part would be darker and this part would be a shadow. So I would love to see if you guys could do that using some other objects as well. Here is the one that I painted together. The other, is it the other side? No. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye guys.